Hi everybody, this is Marnock from Marnock Outdoors, and I was challenged by my brother Quarter Zip, I guess that's what he's calling himself, to do a luxury gear challenge. Now, I don't do a lot of backpacking yet. I'm kind of new to that backpacking scene where I have to stay lightweight, so my luxuries have less to do with lightweight and more to do with things that I like. And the first one on my hammock setup is, and I'll show you here best I can, this is my tarp. This is a tarp that I made. It's just simple sil nylon, cut it, sewed it. I like it because I can close up each end that has like a doors that close up, keep me a little bit warmer in cold camping. I like it because when I'm at summer camp with scouts for an entire week, I can put it in what I call front porch mode, and it lets the air through and it's really comfortable. It keeps me warm. So that's the first luxury item, because when I started hammocking, I had a really nice Yukon tarp. It was a diamond shaped tarp, but when it gets cold outside, yeah, that let just all the air through. This traps some air around me, keeps me a little bit warmer. All right, my next luxury item that I'd like to talk about is something that if I was backpacking, I'd probably still take, because I like to have a floor that when I wake up in the morning and my gear is dry, if it rains, if there's water, moisture on the ground. So I have this, and you can't really see it because I got all my crap in here, and this is scout camping, so I brought way more than I needed to. It's a 5x10, just a real inexpensive tarp that I got off of Wish. I think it cost me $4. It's just, I like it because I can stake it down if I need to. Don't usually have to. My gear usually keeps it in place. When I wake up in the morning and I put my feet on the ground in my socks, if I don't hit the boots, then my feet are still dry because there's no moisture coming up from the ground. It's blocked by this tarp. The next item, and you can kind of see my my setup hanging next to me here. I'm kind of squatted down inside my shelter because not a lot of room in here, staying warm. Need to keep the air to a minimum. But this is actually an underquilt that I made. It's very similar to my primary underquilt, which is the Snug Pack. Makes an under blanket. It's decent product, especially for the $50 it cost. But when you get really cold, you need a little bit more. So what I decided, instead of spending a whole lot of money on a down underquilt, because I don't have a whole lot of money, I took some money that I got from Christmas, and I bought materials including some ClimaShield 5.0 and some ripstop nylon, and I sewed a slightly larger version of the Snug Pack underquilt. This is 7 foot long, so it doesn't matter how I shift in the hammock, it doesn't come out from underneath me. My feet stay warm, my head stays warm. This is actually the first camp out I got to use it, and bungee cable that I got at Hobby Lobby for $2. Really, for what it is, inexpensive build, under $100, and it'll probably, this setup here will probably get me down to about 10 degrees comfortably. I also have the Dutchwear gear. Dutch makes great gear, buy it. Dutchwear gear, winter sock. I like to use that when it gets down below zero, just to help trap some of that air in. I have to make sure that the vent stays over my face so I don't get ice buildup, because the condensation from your breath will freeze. But that's, again, I don't have that out today. It's only going to be down into the upper 30s tonight, so I don't need that. But it's another luxury item, I guess, because I have it and it keeps me warm. The last one, and it's kind of hard to see, but I'll pull the underquilts down. This is, and I'll probably put a picture up later. This is my hammock. Is my version or my clone of Dutchwear's Chameleon. I actually got the zippers from Dutch. He's great. He sells the components because he's just a good guy, I guess. But put the Chameleon zippers in it. It's got an integrated mosquito net. I made it symmetrical mosquito net because that way I can lay either direction. I don't have to change the mosquito net over. It's 11-foot hammock. It's double layered because I'm a bigger guy. I could probably get away with single layer, but I don't mind the extra weight because I don't have to carry it very far. I think I had to hike maybe a mile into camp today. So hiking a mile with what I have, it wasn't really too bad. If I get into a lot of backpacking where I'm going long distance, I'll probably look into some lighter gear. But for now, it's great. So I guess the biggest luxury item I have is the fact that my wife puts up with me when I decide, instead of buying something, I'm just gonna make it. So she lets me jump on the sewing machine. I've made my tarp. I made the same type of tarp for 6 other people, including Quarter Zip. I hope you get a chance to use that tarp. Hopefully it works out for you as well as it's worked out for me. But 5 of the other scout leaders that are in my troop, they have this same tarp. I think I called it the Mach 1 from Marnock Outdoors. And she let me make my hammock. She let me make this underquilt. I've made PVC bow and arrow. I've made everything you can imagine out of vegetable tan leather. So every little hobby I get, she kind of indulges me. So I guess, you know, the moral of the story is if you find a person that really appreciates you and your love of whatever you do, and they let you do it, that's the real luxury item. So thank you, Quarter Zip, for nominating me. It's been a while since I made a video just because I've been busy with life. And becoming a Scoutmaster takes up some time too. So now the thing I love about making everything that I have is I can make it exactly what I want. I knew I wanted a rainfly that would be lightweight and pretty weather resistant and not cost me $300. So for the amount of money I put into it, I think it's a fantastic fly. For the hammock, it's a clone of a Dutch Wear Chameleon. I would have loved to be able to afford a Dutch Wear Chameleon, but I was able to make mine in materials for around $70, and that's being a double layer hammock as well. Same thing with the underquilt. To have an underquilt that's 7 foot long and as warm as it is, I could have just bought another Snugpak one, but I like to build things. So I get to make it exactly what I want it, and I don't have to try to modify it later when I get it because I made it the way I wanted it the first time. So I don't know if he's already done it, but I guess I'm going to nominate Shug because he's awesome and I like watching his videos. So Shug, hopefully you can tell us about some of your camping luxuries.